Hello, I'm Dr. Frank Granito, Chief Scientist with the Institute for Digital Transformation. And welcome to the Institute Fellow Spotlight. Institute Fellows are industry experts who share their insights, opinions, research, and real-life experiences about the transition from the industrial era to the digital era. Today, we shine the spotlight on Institute Fellow Cherri Holland. Welcome, Cherri. How are you doing?
Thank you, Frank. Very well.
Excellent, excellent. So tell us what you're doing and why that should interest our viewers.
Well, Frank, I think business leaders everywhere are under pressure to thrive in these conditions where they have to continue to service their clients. They feel the pressure to continue to offer employment to their employees.
Yeah.
And it's possible that the board is also putting them under pressure to regain lost ground from the last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they are missing an opportunity really within their organizations to get more collective input from their employees. And some of the organizations I'm working with at the moment are really interested in how they can engage and involve their employees more. They're worried about losing talent, so retention is a big thing for them. And I just think they're missing an opportunity. I see managers under huge pressure, and sometimes they're not really involving their staff as they should be in solving the organizational problems. And I think their staff go about every day solving their customers' problems,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't involve them in the management of their own business. And so I see a lot of underused talent and intelligence and a lot of very harassed and stressed managers.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're kind of missing something there.
That's interesting. I will go off script a little bit because we've been doing some research with some roundtables and found out that a lot of companies are actually using some AI to turn inward. In other words, help their staffs um, navigate what they have to do to serve customers as remote employees. So I was wondering what you that sort of aligns with the some of the companies there that are seeing that problem that you're talking about. What say you?
Yeah, and look, that sounds absolutely brilliant. I think it's perhaps managers don't realize that when they have the title manager,
Mm,
there seems to be almost a subliminal suggestion to people that the person with the title manager will have the final say
hmm.
and has the best answer to things. And so managers on the one hand complain that staff don't show initiative, but on the other hand, staff get frustrated because they see barriers and obstacles to their productivity, but they don't have any way of actually changing that or overcoming those obstacles. They're not involved in decisions that are made that affect them. And so they often feel almost trapped in this organization of a parent-child style of managing,
Right.
instead of that sort of adult. I mean, Steve Jobs said, we don't employ smart people and tell them what to do. We employ smart people so they can tell us what to do.
Right.
And although in the technology world, technology businesses are probably leading the way in terms of autonomy of staff and engaging staff, I think old habits die hard. And I think there's still this traditional hierarchy structure where it's easier for me just to tell you what to do than to bring the problem to you and let's have a collective debate and involve all the brains in what is the best way to deal with the challenges facing our business today.
Yeah. I've often said that everybody in the organization knows something that I don't, and I'm trying to figure out what that is. So I think
Yeah,
that's some good stuff, Cherri. I appreciate that.
yeah.
So, what attracted you to the Institute Fellows program?
Well, I think it's really been important for me to be in touch with the other fellows and find out what are the trends that are happening around the world, what are some of the challenges they're facing in their client organizations, and what sort of solutions are they bringing to the table. And I found that really the world's quite a small place, and while there are slight cultural differences, yes there are, in the end, we're actually all facing very similar problems, and the same solutions would work.
Yeah,
It's been wonderful.
we're more alike than different in that sense, I guess
Exactly right. And I think bringing that whole point about we're all alike, I like to think of, the human brain. And I often say to clients, don't think of the numbers of people you have, think of the numbers of brain cells. Each one has 100 billion brain cells, and each of those brain cells is capable of some amazing creativity.
Wow.
And when we all meet together as fellows, there's this generation of ideas, which is just really inspiring.
Yeah, that's interesting. You used a term, I've heard you use a term that brainware, and I'm wondering if that applies, if that applies really to the fellows. We have brainware in that collective knowledge there. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah. And just imagine what's on tap for organizations. They have all this brainware, but I think we create organizations that actually make it more difficult for us to express that creativity. And I think human beings are designed to create and express, and our organizations really tapping into that, especially now when everyone is so exhausted. There just could be an opportunity we're missing.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I've often said to clients and students that sometimes organizations develop processes that actually require you to give bad service, and there's plenty of examples of that. But that sounds like something similar to that. So, yeah, we're not that cynical, I don't think. So, what's the one piece of advice you would give to folks undergoing a transformation?
Yes, well, I think there are no surprises here. I think it comes back down to what is the organizational purpose? What are we here to do? And there's two aspects here. What is the organization purpose, and what is the purpose of work? And I think that both of those things can be profoundly exciting when it comes to generating value for not only shareholders, but also better service for customers, and also a better work experience for staff.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what I mean by that. When people are working under pressure, the best thing a manager can do is to get them to constantly remind themselves of the positive impact their service has on other people. And so the fact that you were able to provide that service this week for that client, what effect do you think it had on their business and on them personally? And when people realize that their work has intrinsic value, it's kind of like an insulation for them from the stress, because they immediately get this internal, the fire that fuels their desire to keep working well. And so it's kind of like an antidote to the danger of stress. And then it's the purpose of work itself, because I think work is the dojo for the mind. And through doing our work, we develop our thinking quality, we develop our ability to problem solve. That's one of the best kind of insulators from late life Alzheimer's, when we're thinking at a high quality and solving perplexing problems. So I think with both of those aspects of focus, a leader can make a real difference to how an organization perform and how employees live their lives.
Interesting. You mentioned earlier the parent-child relationship in supervision or management, and now you talk about giving the employees the idea of their intrinsic value to the organization. Now you're going to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I don't know that we're really going to get into social psychology, but that's really, really cool, Cherri. I think it's a great conversation to get into. But I wish we had more time. So thanks for letting us shine the spotlight on you today, and we look forward to chatting again in the future and hear how things are trending in your part of the world.
Thanks so much, Frank.
You're welcome. Join us again when we shine the spotlight on another Institute Fellow. I'm Frank Renito. See you next time on Institute Fellow Spotlight.